Lucas Media. So, Michael Porter Jr. he went on a pivot and he made some comments about the WNBA. And he's been around a lot of heat for it, right? He said a couple of things. He talked about, their skill set and they're not going to make as much money as the men. And he even also talked about he want to see women dunk in the game. And I'll talk about that a little later. But, there's been this narrative that the WNBA players are supposed to want to make as much as the NBA players. Now, they came out and said that's not really what they want. They want a piece of the revenue sharing. They want more revenue sharing. And Michael Porter Jr. was just talking about how a lot of times they feel like they want to get paid as equal. Which is confusing because I've seen WNBA players say that they should make as much as the men and some don't. So I don't know. But WNBA players have said that they don't get paid off their jersey sales. Now, I don't know how the rules is, but I believe NBA players get at least a percentage off jersey sales. Now, I don't know, does it still work like that when you don't play in the NBA, but I believe during the NBA, players get, a small percentage. Now, the WNBA, and see, this is my part 3, dear WNBA, because what they need to do is number one, who are you trying to market to? Right? Who do you want your audience to be? And then y'all need to take a play out of college. Why is it that what's the girl name? Juju Watkins just scored 50-something points and she's popular than 99% of the WNBA players. Angel Reese, Caitlin Clark. These people have already a following, endorsements, you name it, right? Y'all need to start marketing y'all players like how colleges marketed theirs. And I know a lot of times they don't want to hear this because then the woke movement starts to attack you, but I'm sorry, y'all might have to lower the rim unless we need to figure out who you're trying to market to. Because if you want the same kind of money that the NBA has, y'all gonna have to start figuring out how to dunk. And hear me out, because I know I'm gonna get people in my comment section trying to come at me. When you think about Michael Jordan, do you really think about him doing layups? Do you really think about LeBron doing a jump shot, or do you think about them dunking it? What about Shaq? You think about him dunking on people. When you see people highlights, Vince Carter, that's what you see. Yeah, you'll see them make nice plays, but you don't want to see one of them do an open fast break and then just do a layup. Zion Williams is another one. They have players that can easily dunk. And you need to figure out, how do you appease to the casual fan? And look what the NBA did, right? When I was growing up in the 90s, it was like all defense. Teams were scoring 70-something points a game. I don't really remember seeing people score 100 plus points every game. Now that's all you see because they've changed and they want to market more to the younger crowd, right? Which I'm a more old school person, but it is what it is. I get why they're doing it. Same thing with the NFL. It was rare to see players pass for over 4,000 yards. Now that start becoming the norm. You can't even hit the quarterback. When I was growing up, you could pick them up and body slam them, and they would get up and keep going. But now you can't touch the quarterback because you want to see Patrick Mahomes go to 4 Super Bowls out of 5 years. That brings more casual fans to the sport. WNBA, y'all need to figure out, how do you bring the casual fan to the sport? You got to understand you're competing against reality TV, other sports in general. And what's going to make me get off work on a Wednesday night and drive all the way through downtown traffic in Atlanta to come watch a game? Or whatever other city, LA, New York, Chicago. What's going to make people do that? What's going to make people, you come home and you tired and you want to unwind and go down the social media rabbit hole? What's going to make you go, you know what? What draws me in? Y'all need to figure out how do you put butts in the seats, and you can't make people do what you want. You have to do what they want because they're the ones who's paying. And I wish they would just understand that, and learn that it's okay to adapt. Everybody else does it. This is business. You remember back in the day when we was growing up, we used to see shows like Family Matters, The Cosby Show, Fresh Prince, Martin. Why they don't show those type of shows like that no more as the norm? Because that's not where the younger audience is going, unfortunately. And we even watch sitcoms. I can start naming them all day. They need to. It is so crazy because it is a very lucrative sport. Like I said it before in one of my part ones and part twos. I do feel like Kobe Bryant's daughter would have took it over, or LeBron's daughter may take it over, or maybe the girl Juju down at USC might. But y'all need to figure out how to market your players to the casual fan. Take a bite out of UFC. UFC does it. And I just did the numbers, and it says the WNBA players make about $116,000 a year. And another thing they got to realize is their sport is kind of new, right? A lot of the old players back in the day in the NBA and NFL, they worked a lot of times during the off season. It wasn't until Magic came and started making it, him and Bird, and Magic got that $1 million a year contract, which was unheard of, that where you started seeing players like that's their full-time job. And then of course Jordan took it to a whole nother level. But remember, people really strive to go in the NBA like that, or the NFL like that, because there was no real long-term money. So y'all also got to remember that. But players in the WNBA, y'all are